felt great to be back on the field. Kind of see some of the fruits of Coach Paroli's labor in the summer. Guys are in great shape. Some of them changed their body compositions, got a lot leaner, bigger, faster, more explosive, and just great to be playing some football again.
Everybody healthy, it looked like no limited jerseys.
Yes, sir. Everyone into practice today is full go.
Is there anybody that wasn't in practice today that anticipate being in practice later?
No, sir. Everyone's here.
You mentioned the strength coach, and obviously he tweeted out today about the Iron Dogs and all that stuff. What were the things they had to reach to get those on there?
That was a bit of a subjective criteria by the strength and conditioning staff, but certainly, effort, attendance, punctuality, all those things, performance, all those things combined.
I know it's early. Any groups stand out today?
It's very hard to tell today. I mean, you got kind of like a gym class. You got helmets on, t-shirts and shorts. A bunch of young freshmen swimming from an assignment standpoint. But the great thing was guys come out, gave a tremendous effort. A lot of retention from the spring game until now. It shows that the guys, were studying film and doing things on their own in the summer. So that's a very, positive aspect of the day. So, once we get the pads on, we'll be able to tell who's going to separate themselves.
What do you see from Nick Fitzgerald today?
Number one, he looked healthy. His drops were clean. Run game footwork was good. We kind of went, versus scouts. Didn't go against each other. But he was moving around well. No signs of any lingering issues.
Stephen Guidry's fully healthy and things.
Yes,
Able to do everything too.
He looked good today. Stephen did a good job.
With Nick, do you just completely kind of let it rip at this point, or is he kind of like a normal quarterback, or do you still have some precautions for him?
Well, at any we'll never have the quarterback live during the course of fall camp, so that's the one limitation I would say Nick has, along with the other guys. But in terms of him taking reps and being in team drills and things like that, he's gonna participate in everything. The one thing our training staff has talked about is just managing and limiting his reps as camp progresses to make sure that we're not putting any unnecessary wear and tear on it. So we're gonna kind of be gradual, but there's no restrictions on him right now.
What did you see from some of the newcomers that are out there today?
I saw a lot of guys who were trying to figure out where to go and why, and when they got in there, the speed of the game, I think, caught them by surprise a little bit. But the positive part is there's a lot of talent, there's a lot of potential. But day one, with a lot of install in an SEC West program, I think they were all shocked.
A guy like Austin Williams, you moved around in spring practice. Where do you see him kind of settling, or is it too early to know what position, outside, inside?
Yeah, we want Coach Getsy to, and our philosophy is to cross-train all of our receivers. So in the way we teach is conceptually, it's not necessarily the memorization of routes by position, but it's a conceptual understanding. So he's right now playing the slot, our H position, but the slot lines up, in two different spots to the field. But he's intelligent enough to grasp all three of the spots, and hopefully all of our guys can grow to that.
You've got a lot of options throughout that receiving core as a whole. Is there a number that you want the rotation to be at? You want to go into week one saying I've got this number of guys to rotate?
Yeah, the next 28 opportunities are going to be critical for guys in that unit to separate themselves. So we ended spring ball, with the waters a little bit muddied and guys kind of grouped up. So ideally, you'd like to go into a game, with three guys who are primary starters. You generally travel 8 to a road game, but we have not been a huge rotation team in the past. We've had three guys that are the primary starters and got a majority of the reps, but that's not necessarily set in stone. If there's guys that can split the reps, or multiple guys we can play at each position, we'll certainly do that. But the thing I'm looking for the most is for people to step up and separate.
Do you happen to have a protocol like that for the defensive line too, a number in mind on that rotation?
Yeah, we're pretty deep there. So that is something that really we discuss heading into game week. When we sit down with each side of the ball and each position coach, and talking about who's going to dress out for the game and what the 2 deep or the 3 deep looks like, and then it really goes more by series than play. A 1-for-1 or 2-for-1 or 3-for-1, and those are things that are decided on game week.
Saw Corey Charles at wide receiver. What led to that move?
We thought it was something where obviously we lost Reggie Todd, and he's a guy that possessed a lot of speed, played our Z position, and we're pretty deep at defensive back, and Corey's a guy that is tested you know, very, very well in terms of 40 and vertical jump and short shuttle and things like that. So he's a very explosive athlete. So we were looking to, you know, add a little bit more speed and explosion to the receiver position. And, you know, he had actually approached me about it prior to spring ball. So it was something we had discussed. He wanted to go through spring and, you know, kind of keep the DB thing going. And, you know, we just felt for, you know, a couple different reasons it was a good move for us offensively and for us as a team, and for him personally.
The 6 o'clock start time, is that just a weather-related thing, consistent at camps?
For practice?
Mhm.
Yeah, we just want to be smart, and we'll have, you know, 4 different types of practices, so to speak. We'll have an AM practice, which will run 9:30 to 11:30, then our walkthroughs are at night. Our PM practice is 6 to 8, with our walkthroughs in the morning. We'll have a Sunday schedule, so I think it's a, you know, delicate balance of making sure you're prepared for the weather you're going to play in throughout the season, but at the same time making sure you're taking care of the guys from a heat standpoint and a endurance standpoint, making sure they're fresh heading into the first game.
Where is Keith Mixon compared to where he was in the spring to now?
On the field and playing, so that's a positive. Not on the sideline in a red jersey, but, you know, he did a really good job with Coach Proley and the strength staff. You know, Thomas and the medical staff did a great job getting him healthy. So I think, you know, he's excited as we are to get him back on the field, because you look through some of the games last year, and, you know, he, you know, we, as an offensive staff, went back, watched all his targets and all his catches. He's a guy that can make some plays.
What kind of hand do you feel like you've been dealt with as a wide receiver core?
What kind of hand have we been dealt? There's a quote I actually heard: "Life's not about the cards you're dealt, but how you play them," I guess. So I think we got a lot of talent at the receiver position. I mean, I'm excited, and, you know, this has been an offense that has been predicated on the ability to throw the ball and specifically down the field. And, you know, like I mentioned to Brett earlier, I think it's just a matter of those guys separating themselves. But I don't think it'll be for a lack of talent. I think we just got to do a good job, coach them up, put them in position to be successful. And, you know, I know Luke, our Coach Getzey, and our system will help them do that.